that little thing in front of the Twin Towers?
I don't know.
It looks weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
All right, so who wants to go first about if anyone that wants to that remembered about 9/11?
Well, before you guys start, let me just get this out of the way. I was way too young to know about that back in I was like 5, so I was too young to actually,
Oh yes, right, yes, right.
to see what was actually
Yeah, I was
happening.
about to say, yeah, if you remember a lot better if you're a little older. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I don't really remember much until like when
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't really remember. Like, I didn't really understand the significance of it at the time. Like, I didn't really understand what was going on.
it's okay. Us old geezers remember it.
Yeah, I was 5 when that happened, and
I was 8. So I don't think we really understood what was going on.
Damn.
well, you were a little older than me, so
Yeah, but I didn't. Yeah, but I actually never heard of the Twin Towers up to that point in my life.
You damn kids with your Pac-Man video games.
Mm-hmm.
You damn.
yeah. So, but once I grew older, I started to know more about that, and also when I was 5, basically I was at school at the time. For those of you who don't know, my mother is a teacher.
All right.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Wow, cool.
Teaching her grown.
This isn't a girl.
Well, still.
Cool.
But yeah, I remember she told me the story that basically they had to end school that day because of basically the news that happened. So it was pretty much early dismissal. And at the time, my family was having conversations, and some people in school as well were having a conversation basically that they were scared that the Sears Tower would possibly be next to be torn down as well.
You would get paranoid about something like that and other stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That people were thinking like, wow, okay, so they went to New York City. So what if they start, they hit Chicago next, or any other big city for that matter. So
Yeah.
it was a pretty scary day for a lot of people.
Yeah, it was one of those conspiracy thoughts that people were going to their heads after what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, so Robert, Otaku, Rem, you want to guys give where you were at that time?
Me, I was actually still in middle school and going on the bus to school.
Mm-hmm.
So just hearing that right because it was early in the morning.
Yeah.
Seeing something like that just kind of shocked me, and just more, I didn't know what to think. My mom was more in shock than anything when I went to school, and then we heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had a moment of silence, but it was like, wow.
Yeah. Otaku, Robert.
Let's see, 2001. I think I was about 12, 13 then. I was also in middle school. I think it was in 6th grade, I believe. And yeah, I remember the day it happened somewhat. And it was pretty early. And I think we had like one class, and then suddenly there was this like announcement or something, and then my family came to get me, and I was like, what's going on? And then of course I found out later on, it was all over the news. Obviously, I didn't understand it first, but then when I saw what happened on the news, I was like, oh wow, and yeah, so yeah, it was just really tragic, seeing hearing all the news of the buildings collapsing and all the people that lost their lives. And yeah, it was pretty tragic day, pretty tragic day.
Robert?
Yeah, I was 15 years old when it happened. I was on my way to school. My school was about 2 blocks away from here. This was
I mean, and Robert, you were actually in the vicinity where in New York when it happened, though. I mean, that's the crazy part. It's like you were the one actually like could you actually see the smoke from the towers where you were at?
Unfortunately, no. Because I have a friend of mine, best friend of mine who lives in this block too. He doesn't live around here no more. He actually lives in New Jersey now with his but that's the thing too. Every time I go over his house, and basically we live in the same block though. But he's like about basically the other side of the block. But every time I go to his house, all I could do is every time I go to his house, besides playing wrestling games and action figures and everything, and also having fun, in the way. I always look outside to see the Twin Towers because it's just one of the best sights I could ever see the Twin Towers from there. And like, man, the Twin Towers look so beautiful, you know. I always dream, if someday I'll go, if I ever get near the Twin Towers, that either be in the building or be on top of the building, like Macaulay Culkin did from Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. That's the type of dream that I always have, obviously because of the movie,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it never did happen because of this incident. So I was on my way to school, and I was in the 8th grade. But unfortunately, what pertains to me being in the 8th grade, somehow the school, it was something about something that got lost. Sometimes something that what pertains to me not not being part of the 8th grade. So I was like in the so I was basically in the 7th grade for a bit until finally everything was resolved. It wasn't just me. It was a few others too that ended up being in my situation too. So everything was solved during that time. While I was in school around, let's see, around 8 o'clock maybe. I'm trying to remember what time it was when it happened, but where everything's getting settled and everything, and that finally I'm finally right where I'm at. I went through summer school, and then and I passed summer school. I'm right. I should be right where I'm at, but unfortunately,
Summer school.
In a way. But yeah, everything was resolved, and that's when I started hearing. Basically, later on in the next 2 classes I was part of, about something. Something about the Twin Towers. Something happened with the Twin Towers, and I was confused about what's going on, and then I heard about another Twin Towers being attacked. On the other side of the Twin Towers, meant to say being attacked, and basically hearing word from people on that we might be under attack. Like what's going on? Like when we were already under attack, like what's going on? And then I don't remember if I at school I heard about the Twin Towers being the collapsing, but when I went home after school was over, because I was still confused. Like I still understand what's going on. Like they said the Twin Towers has collapsed, so I saw on and this was played repeatedly on the news. Like this matter, it was Fox, UPN 9, any type of local news. When I saw the Twin Towers collapsing before my very eyes, I couldn't believe it. It was like watching my dreams shatter in front of my eyes. And not just that, but the people in the building. They end up getting killed.
Really fucking sad, man.
And then obviously what pertains to who's behind this.
Oh yeah.
That's where I started learning about these terrorists, and this ain't the first time this happened. '93.
Yeah.
If everyone remember or listen to Notorious B.I.G. Juicy, where he talks about blow up like the World Trade. That's what he was referring to. Where it pertains to these terrorists, they didn't attack they didn't attack them. This isn't the first time they attacked the Twin Towers. They did before in '93, and obviously years later when we started learning more about this, they said they was going to attack again, but this time they're going to attack on where people it's not going to be able to see it coming. And basically in a way, we're not going to attack we're going to be attacking from the skies, and that's what they did. Basically they still wanted to attack us. For I don't know for what reason. I still don't know to this day for what reason. Other than what the press at the time what pertains to U.S. presidents and it's just so confusing. To me, I just like I don't I can't I hate politics. I hate conspiracies and all that, and I hate those type of reasons like of why they decided to do this. It's got to be more than just I hate America, I hate Americans and all that. Is
America
to me.
America. Yeah.
To me, these when these type of terrorists, I look at them as them doing the devil's deeds.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but that's my story of it. And we still got more of these terrorists to this day. And after 9/11, everything has changed. What pertains to the airports, to other things that have changed the world that turned the world upside down. Just everything after that not just with the Twin Towers, but with other buildings as well that were also were blown up. And again, with innocent people's lives end up being taken.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, as for me, I was at school that day. I think, as I think we all were.
It was September, so
Yeah, it was just
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was, like I said, I was 8, and then get to school, whatever, sitting in class. I was sitting in the classroom, whatever, doing whatever, and then over the like the announcement, over the speaker, it's like, oh, Nick, come to the office. Your mom's here to take you home, and I'm thinking to myself like, okay, why am I being taken home?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
right.
And I go to my mom. She takes me to the car, and I ask her like what's going on? I ask her like why are you pulling me out? It's like this something. What happened? Like what's going on? And she's like, oh well, so a plane hit the Twin Towers. I'm like, what? Like I didn't really understand it at the time, but I was like, okay.
It's all a shock at once, to take in. Let it breathe in.
Yeah, and I was like, and I didn't really understand it at the time what was actually going on. I mean, from seeing seeing it on TV to, I mean, basically my mom, she was on the phone with like a lot of our family members, like my dad and a lot of my family members that day. So it was like, I don't really know what was. I mean, I didn't really understand the significance at the time, but as the years passed and I learned what it actually happened, it was like, oh, okay, that's sad and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're a little kid and when your mom tells you like basically a story like what was happening, you're thinking to yourself when you're that young, you're thinking, I'm playing at a building. What? Like
I
Okay.
didn't understand first either. I was like, well, what the?
Yeah, my father was calling a couple of his brothers because a couple of them were actually living in New York. Well, actually, no, one of them was living in New York, and the other one was living in Jersey. You know, and basically my father was, you know, getting a hold of them. Like, so
yeah, I think I had a couple people in my class that actually had people who I think I said like a girl who had a I don't know who it was, but she had someone she knew in the towers when they fell
oh wow.
or where they got hit. You know, yeah. And I just remember her like crying though in the classroom.
Yeah, that's one thing when you go in and see what actually happened, but to hear about somebody,
But to see someone affected by it, that's like holy shit.
yeah, like somebody you knew
Like wow.
was in that building, it's like, yeah, that's a whole different. I mean,
Oh man, that's got to be so much worse for like the family members that had other family member in the building,
right?
or in the plane. What's even worse, or had, got a phone call or something like that. You know, it's just like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Well, how scary would that be if you were in that building, on especially at the very top or somewhere at the top, and you have to make a decision between getting burned to death or jumping off a building?
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
something
man. You
that
said, did you actually see them there where the people were jumping?
Yeah.
I seen on documentary every time, and
Like
it just
I
freaked my heart to see
I
that.
can't even watch those. I've tried to watch those documentaries before. I just can't watch them because it's just
Mm.
of what happened, of what people were saying. I just can't watch
It's
them.
fucking insane. It really is.
Yeah, as years went by too, basically when I was done with high school, I got over. I was done watching those documentaries because I can't watch. I just couldn't watch it anymore. It's just too depressing to watch.
Yep.
But it did change a lot of things, though. It really did. I mean,
Yep.
It did. It really fucking did.
Yeah, I mean, just deciding between, you know, a death situation. Yeah, you in a lose-lose situation, you want to get burned to death or jump off a building. Like one, you have to. Either way, you don't win.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Nope.
Now, could it have been a way to prevent this all happening? Because there's always some conspiracy thoughts about that too. Where
there is.
could they have prevent all this to not happen? Because that's the only thing I was thinking about. Because if they could prevent this of happening, then this whole thing would never have changed the world as we know right now.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, there's always talks where I remember seeing this documentary too, where someone was try to steer a plane, to try to assassinate, Richard Nixon, at the White House, and they show what could happen if that would have happened, and he paid, what pertains to hijacking the plane and fulfilling that assassination onto Richard Nixon. And this will show some here's a way that could have been prevented anyways. Where if he tried, and it was a guy, by the way, I forgot his name though, but he was going to try to assassinate Richard Nixon from the airport. Basically, they just show a reenactment of what could happen, or what or what could have happened or what couldn't have happened, in a way. So they show something about some kind of weapon to stop the plane from crashing into the White House. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember if it was a missile or something, but was something to prevent that to happening. Now, I'm not saying that that's what what all cities should have what pertains to the buildings, but because if the president they want to do whatever they can to just to save the president.
Yeah. So, do you guys have anything else pertaining to 9/11 or?
Yeah. Rest in peace to all the 9/11 victims.
Rest in peace to the 9/11 victims.
And to those that were that was suffer had suffered the effects of it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now, also, but before we go on, there's also 2 more planes as well besides those 2.
Yep.
There's the one that crashed into the Pentagon, and then there's the one that
Yes.
And then there's the one that crashed into the field in Pennsylvania, which probably is most likely headed for the White House. Which everyone pretty much came to the conclusion. And those the people on the plane basically prevented that from happening. They pretty much gave up their own lives just to prevent that from happening.
Yep.
Yeah. The phone calls they had, that was like, whoa.
Yep. Yep. So you rest in peace to those from that plane as well.
Yes, and the victims of the Pentagon crash as well.